Well, I felt it was important to address what politicians and the media are calling the fiscal cliff. And this being the middle of December, I think it's no coincidence that we're also looking at, or they're talking about, the end of the Mayan calendar. What better time to induce fear and uncertainty in the minds and the hearts of U.S. citizens? But really, what is this fiscal cliff? And more particularly, this segment today is going to address what impact, if anything, does the economic outlook have on your investments. So first of all, let's take a look at what this fiscal cliff really is. It's the expiration of the Bush tax cuts. All right. So the majority of folks in the middle tax brackets may experience a 5% tax increase. What does this have to do with the markets? Actually, historically, very little. The equity markets and the economy are very lowly correlated. There's hardly any correlation. And at our January 17th class, I'm going to show you the numbers dating back to 1904, where we've had years of recession, negative gross domestic product, and increases in the markets. Let's take a look at a recent example, a real example. When President Obama took his first term in, actually, let's say January 2009, yes, we were in a recession. We had negative growth in the economy. And let me ask you, how do you think the economy has been during the first term of Obama's presidency? We see an increase in unemployment, hundreds of thousands of Americans losing their jobs, a record percentage of Americans on welfare and food stamps, numerous companies closing their doors, and layoffs and downsizing. So that's the way the economy has been. What has the market done? The S&P 500 has grown from 900 to 1,400. Now, that has nothing to do with the economy. As a matter of fact, other countries, and I'll show you the map right here, other countries with less economic freedom than the United States actually experience greater growth in their equity markets. The next slide here shows that countries with less economic freedom actually have more economic growth, more growth in their equities. The growth of $1 in countries with less economic freedom has grown to $5. Every $1 grows to $5. While at the same time, 1995 to 2010, countries with more economic freedom, $1 grew to $3. There's no correlation between the economic freedom and what the economy does and what the actual markets do. Now, what about taxes? And you may feel, well, Obama's a socialist and Marxist and this country's going that way. That may be true, but again, what does it have to do with the investments? Little to nothing. Am I happy about the way the country is going? No. What can you and I do about it? We can be vocal. We can contact our congressmen and senators and push for tax cuts. But the fact remains, other countries that are more socialistic than the United States have stronger economies, and their markets are even stronger. So again, the correlation is very low. Even if in times of higher taxation, the markets have grown. What about these tax cuts that will expire and your tax rate may go up to 5%? Do you know that between 1935 and 1960, the highest income tax bracket was as high as 94%? So yes, we do have it much better now. Am I happy with the expiration of the tax cuts? No. Do I feel that our president is pushing for tax cuts? No. But again, what does it mean? It means be as smart as you can with your taxes, get with your tax advisor and your investor coach to make the right moves in your income and your tax deductions, not your investments. Because again, we have seen that economic growth or lack thereof has little to no correlation with the growth of equity markets. So people may say, oh my gosh, Obama's reelected, let's get out of the market. That would be unwise, as history shows us, and as we learn again with economic growth or lack of economic growth, markets can and still grow. The hardest thing about being in the market is to stay disciplined and to be coached and not go along with the fear. And certainly terms such as fiscal cliff do not help, but let's look through that fog and mirror and smoke and mirrors of the terms that they've done a really good job of creating, and look at what it really is and stay disciplined.